Give this exercise to your theologians and hear what they give for an answer. You will be struck. But prior to administering this test, ask them, a kilo of feathers and a kilo of stones. Which one weighs heavier than the other? I am quite sure about what they may say, at first glance. But don't blame them. The whole world is full of dummies, who can't tell the left from the right. The big quest is, would that land be the real promised land, a spacious land, lacking nothing on earth that a man desireth? When ye go, ye shall come unto a people secure, and to a large land, for Amana hath given it into your hands, a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth. Judges chapter 18 verse 10. Which land is also called the synagogue of Satan? Can the Most High cohabitate with Satan worshippers? Stone me. The new Jeshurun shall be in the same location as the old one, to Ezekiel chapter 48 verse 1 .. Start from that fountain. That is a huge city, megacity ORMEGPOLIS, greater than USA. Pope John Paul II. It's time for the world to repent. 1 Maccabees 3.47. They fasted that day, put on sackcloth and sprinkled ashes on their heads, and rent their clothes. Judges chapter 18 verse 10. When ye go, ye shall come unto a people secure, and to a large land, for God hath given it into your hands, a place where there is no want of anything that is in the earth. Deuteronomy chapter 11 verses 10 to 12. For the land, whither thou goest in to possess it, is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowedst thy seed, and wateredst it with thy foot, as a garden of herbs. 11 But the land, whither ye go to possess it, is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven. 12 A land which the Lord thy God careth for, the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. There are also minerals in this holy land. Deuteronomy 8.9. A land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness, thou shalt not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig brass. Haggai 2.8. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord of hosts. Numbers chapter 31 verse 22. Only the gold, and the silver, the brass, the iron, the tin, and the lead. Job 28:2-19 Iron is taken out of the earth, and brass is molten out of the stone. 3 He setteth an end to darkness, and searcheth out all perfection, the stones of darkness, and the shadow of death. 4 The flood breaketh out from the inhabitant, even the waters forgotten of the foot, they are dried up, they are gone away from men. 5 As for the earth, out of it cometh bread, and under it is turned up as it were fire. 6 The stones of it are the place of sapphires, and it hath dust of gold. 7 There is a path which no fowl knoweth, and which the vulture eye hath not seen. 8 The lion, whelps have not trodden it, nor the fierce lion passed by it. 9 He putteth forth his hand upon the rock, he overturneth the mountains by the roots. 10 He cutteth out rivers among the rocks, and his eye seeth every precious thing. 11 He bendeth the floods from overflowing, and the thing that is hid bringeth he forth to light. 12 But where shall wisdom be found? And where is the place of understanding? 13 Man knoweth not the price thereof, neither is it found in the land of the living. 14 The depth saith, it is not in me, and the sea saith, it is not with me. 15 It cannot be gotten for gold, neither shall silver be weighed for the price thereof. 16 It cannot be valued with the gold of Ophir, with the precious onyx, or the sapphire. 17 The gold and the crystal cannot equal it, and the exchange of it shall not be for jewels of fine gold. 18 No mention shall be made of coral, or of pearls, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. 19 The topaz of Ethiopia shall not equal it, neither shall it be valued with pure gold. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God, every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Revelation chapter 21 verse 20. the 5th sardonyx, the 6th sardius, the 7th chrysolite, the 8th beryl, the 9th a topaz, the 10th a chrysoprasus, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th an amethyst. Genesis chapter 2 verses 11 to 12. Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, 12 and the gold of that land is good, there is bdellium and the onyx stone. 13 and the name of the second river is Gihon, the same as it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. Israel, even if you are the smallest, you are the richest of all peoples. Read Revelation 2.9. 2 Kings chapter 8 verses 21 to 22. So Joram went over to Zer, and all the chariots with him, and he rose by night, and smote the Edomites which compassed him about, and the captains of the chariots, and the people fled into their tents. 22 Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. Judges chapter 18 verse 10. When you get there, you will find an unsuspecting people and a spacious land that God has put into your hands, a land that lacks nothing whatever. Is this a wide land? Is this the land of the Hamites? Learn how religion is used to keep black people subservient, clueless to their true identity, divided, stuck in sin and thinking the white man is God. In this segment, I'll share how Christian religion is used as another system to keep black people subservient, clueless to their true identity, divided, stuck in sin, and thinking the white man is God. First of all, I want to say that I'm not against true Christianity or followers of Yesaya Congo. But what I'll be sharing will be offensive to some people. I will also want to follow with a quote from an unknown source. The Bible has never lied, it was just put into the hands of people who are liars. Minister Neil Reel. I included this quote to affirm that this will not be an article bashing the Bible in any part, not the Old or the New Testament. Black critics of the Holy Scriptures say that the Bible is the white man's book and should not be consulted since it was used to enslave black people. But how could the Europeans be the author of the Bible when it condemns their behavior with eternal torment? That's because they didn't write it. The author of the Bible is Tata Nizam himself, and we at this ministry believe that the entire Bible is the inerrant word of Tata Nizam. However, we do understand that it's often misused to control people and justify sinful behavior, and that's what this article is about. The Pope and the transatlantic slave trade. Did you know that the Pope instigated the transatlantic slave trade? That's right, Christian religion played its part in the foundations of racism and authorizing what is now known as one of the most wicked injustices against humanity in history. The posting of the 95 Thesis on the door of a local Catholic church. The beginning of the Great Protestant Reformation movement. Pope Nicholas V wrote a declaration authorizing King Alfonso V of Portugal to attack, conquer, and subjugate Saracens, Arabs and/or Muslims, pagans, Africans, and other enemies of Christ wherever they may be found in West Africa. Another declaration was later made sanctioning the purchase of black slaves from the infidels, other Africans, which included many Guineamen and other Negroes, and for them to be taken by force if necessary. And this is where we get the transatlantic slave trade's beginnings. Initially, the Portuguese purchased slaves from African nations but later began to outright steal men, women, and children from African countries. However, the idea that Africans were selling their own people wasn't true. Africa is a continent with countries and nations within it, so you can't just group everyone together and call them one people just because they have similar skin colors and features. No, one African group was selling another group of people they'd enslaved. And the enslaved happened to be Israelites, specifically from the tribe of Judah. Even though Israelites could blend in as a dark-skinned people, the other dark-skinned nations knew who they were. And when the Israelites rebelled against God in these foreign lands, as prophecy states, Captivity, on top of their already judgment of homelessness, was usually the punishment. Unfortunately, they were now entering a new kind of slavery, the cruelest form ever, under the European. But what if the Pope didn't give the land of another people to the Portuguese? What if the Pope didn't authorize the theft of men, women, children, teachers, farmers, doctors, scientists, fathers, mothers, and leaders? Maybe it wouldn't have happened. It's often the leadership that corrupts the moral compass of people. Who is this Pope to authorize these wicked acts in the name of Christ? Would Yesaya Congo condone this? Was this right? Of course not. Then what happened to Christianity, or was this really Christianity at all? For that, we need to know Christian history.